It's the left versus the right. In the right corner, Dominic Carter. In the left corner, it's Anthony Weiner. Now, to the Bernard McGurk Studios, it's a 77 WABC debate. The melee in the metropolis.
Hello and welcome to Left versus Right. Anthony Weiner on your left, Dominic Carter on your right. Dominic, you know, this is going to surprise you some. 27 days from today, North Carolina, the first swing state that starts their early voting. As Yogi Berra would say, it's getting late early. It's getting close here.
Getting close to the election.
Getting close, only 27 days away. I got to tell you, I've been listening to your shows recently, how you're having kind of crossfire on your shows.
Okay.
Letting a caller from the left and a caller from the right kind of go at it on the air.
Right.
It's good, but it's not as good as you and me, man. they don't have the same edge.
So you said we're getting close. Are you going to show how big the person that you are and go to Trump's inauguration?
I got to tell you, if Trump winds up getting inaugurated, I will first eat this table with seasoning. But let's take a look. I got to tell you, every week more and more stuff going on. I don't know where to start. Let's go chronologically. Shortly after we got off the air, the announcement of Tim Walz of Minnesota governor. What do you think of the pick?
Bad pick.
Bad pick. You were pulling for so you thought.
I thought she would definitely go with Shapiro, the governor of Pennsylvania, but I understand politically why she did not. You have history in the making with the first African-American woman or Indian woman combined at the top of the ticket, and then the first Jewish-American. We've been down this road with Lieberman, and we saw how that worked. It didn't go too well for Al Gore. And so, but I think it opened the can to all the anti-Semitism charges.
Yeah, I don't know. Look, I'm hearing a lot about anti-Semitism. I was pulling for Shapiro. As a Jewish guy, I'm proud of the accomplishments. I would have liked them to lean into Israel-Gaza, but you can't blame them for not, right? You can't blame them like everything's kumbaya. I've heard you use that term a lot on the radio on your shows. You can't blame them for going a do-no-harm pick. That's what Walz was. I'm not buying the anti-Semitism stuff. Look, there's anti-Semitism in the Democratic Party. There's anti-Semitism in the Republican Party. There's anti-Semitism in the world. I totally get it. But I'm not sure that Tim Walz wasn't the right pick after all, because I got to tell you, these guys are on fire. The Democratic base is fired up.
He's Looney Tune, and he's going to implode. I mean, a lot of his policies are just out there. He's too far left, and it points the Democratic Party in a position that makes the party look good.
What are some of the positions you think that aren't popular?
For example, some of the positions he's taken as it relates to transgender students, his military service after 24 years in the National Guard, how he jumped ship, and he didn't do anything wrong, but he retired and left his friends, his fellow
he retired
soldiers.
at 25, and then he ran for Congress.
Okay, but he left his friends holding the bag.
In what way?
Because he was the highest-ranking non-commissioned officer.
Pretty amazing.
And by him stepping down, right? Not me, or many of the people that served with him are criticizing him.
Wait a minute. First of all,
the mother of a dead soldier is calling him a coward.
Hold on a second. First, he stepped down after 24 years doing it. He did enormous on the service. Did you serve? I actually don't know.
No, I didn't.
I didn't serve either. I honor people that served. I honor that.
But do you honor people that lie about using weapons in war and they never did?
You know, I watched that tape, and you're really grasping for straws. He said he was making an equation between, he trained with firearms, said that, a weapon of war should not be on the streets. I think people agree with that. I don't think that's an outrageous position.
He said the weapons I used in war.
Yeah,
verbatim.
Okay.
Verbatim.
All right.
The dude jumped ship and then wanted credit.
You keep saying jump ship. You mean he retired after 24 years?
He left his comrades. And first of all.
And by the way, you know the fact pattern was he announced and put in his papers. You got to put in your papers 8 months in advance. He put in his papers before there was any deployment to Iraq, and he also.
But he had already received the news that the unit was going to Iraq.
That's not true.
That is true.
So you're saying he should continue to serve and not run for Congress and won?
Listen, what I'm saying.
I don't know. It seems like a quibble. This is the best you got. I'm a little surprised at this one.
What I'm saying we haven't even started with Kamala Harris.
No, but that's what we're going to do. Walz. I'm saying.
Okay,
what's the transgender one?
But putting tampons in boys' bathrooms?
That's not what the law says.
Okay, but it's close to it. And
no.
Come on, Anthony. Okay, so you tell me what the law says.
Yeah, because I went and looked it up. Because when I hear stuff on Crazy Talk Radio, I go look it up. So there was an effort to put tampons in the girls' bathrooms for people who are girls when they're menstruating at the age that they are.
Right.
A lot of them don't have experience with it, don't have the tampons and things like that. So it's a good thing to give them to them, right? In schools, okay. So the law is written in Minnesota that says they shall be put in all bathrooms where someone is menstruating. What is the problem with that?
Okay.
I mean, you're trying to make it into whatever it is.
Okay.
Even if five people.
Okay. You're an athlete. I'm a former athlete. You know how something like that will go over with tampons being in boys' bathrooms.
No one complained about it.
Come on, man. Anthony, please.
No one complained about it until after he was announced for Kennedy.
Anthony, are you serious?
The Republicans.
Anthony, are you serious?
I'm serious. I'm serious as a heart attack. All the Republican sponsor of the amendment to say the Republican sponsor of the amendment in Minnesota that said just put them in boys' bathrooms. He voted for the law and said this is a great law. Yeah. No one was complaining about it. This is a good thing. Is this the best you have?
It's not. No,
there's got to be something better than this.
No.
Tampons in bathrooms, and he served for 24 years honorably.
And not me, but the mother of a soldier from the Minnesota unit that died in war is calling him a complete coward. Now respond to that.
I'm not going to respond to an individual person. He was on it.
Yeah, that's what Democrats do when you get criticized and it's in your face.
I don't criticize. Someone who criticizes someone for 24 years saying they should have done 27 to me doesn't have a lot of credibility. A parent of a lost soldier can say anything that she wants. I don't need to respond to it. She's totally entitled.
But you're not.
This is what you think. You think that's a good argument?
You're not being honest with the situation.
Which one?
What you just said is, somebody retires after 24 years of service when it should have been 27. You're leaving out the big part.
Go ahead.
That the unit was deployed to Iraq.
Why is that the big part? And that's when
he jumped ship. No, why is that a big part?
He jumped. You say jumped ship. He retired to run for Congress.
He jumped ship and left his boys holding the bag.
He retired to run for Congress. That happens all the time. Thousands of people retire before every day.
Okay, your
criticism is that this man who served our country honorably, you are trying to make
24 years.
You wanted 24.
And then what happened after that? Once he found out the unit was going to Iraq.
That's not true. You're getting the facts right.
I've got the facts exactly right.
Dominic, are you saying that he didn't serve honorably?
If you look at the totality of his service, yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
So you just wanted to serve longer?
No, I wanted him to at least work it out with the people he served with.
Serve longer.
Or how about this? You run on a campaign that you had a rank that you know you didn't have.
A what?
He ran on a campaign
let's do one
for
thing
Congress.
At a time.
He ran
I want to take
Congress.
So far, you don't want girls to have tampons, and you think that's a huge issue.
Come on, man. Come on.
You do.
Is that what I said?
Sounded that way to me. Sounds like you criticized him on transgender things.
I said that tampons should not be in boys' bathrooms.
Okay.
And I don't understand why a transgender person would need a tampon.
Well, it's only if you're menstruating do you need a tampon.
And the last time I checked, maybe you can update me on how this works. I didn't know that transgender women have menstrual cycles.
Whoever menstruates, should they have access to tampons in school?
Of course, but that's not the issue.
That's all that the law says.
No.
You're trying. This is the ultimate grasping at straws. A 24-year-old veteran, but I want him to serve 24 plus.
Okay, now
that's my complaint.
Now, if this were Trump, you'd be dancing all over the table saying that he avoided service, blah blah blah, and you're going to go there anyway. You're going to go there anyway.
I've forgotten. I didn't have in my notes, but tell me about that. Did Donald Trump serve 24 years?
No. Notice how you just bounced off a wall because the last issue I just raised. No, because I'm not going to let you do it. He ran on a campaign for Congress that said he was a master sergeant, whatever the term is, and he was not. He retired with a lower position.
Voluntarily.
No, it was not voluntarily.
Yes, he could have stayed and completed. He did.
Okay,
let me
Anthony,
finish.
If you don't stay and complete the paperwork and the coursework, then that's not on you if you retired early.
That's right. He did. He did.
So then why would he put that in all his congressional campaign?
Because he had achieved the rank but didn't have the paperwork done. I am not an expert on military stuff. I've heard it argued 50 different ways that people describe it for different ways.
And that's not slimy?
24 years of service is not slimy, Dominic.
No. If you're running on a campaign for Congress that says you had
24 years,
that says you had this
Dominic,
rank, and you actually don't. You actually don't. And the people that served with you said you don't have
Dominic,
that rank. It's not slimy.
You and I don't have the moral authority to question someone else's.
Right. So
neither one of us does.
Right. So see, you don't want to deal with reality.
No, I do. This is a matter of interpretation. Stolen valor is a matter of interpretation between people who are in the military. I think that many people would say that Walt served honorably.
Well, I don't hear them saying it.
You and I don't
hear them saying it.
Okay. You and I don't have the moral standing to criticize someone
that he was a phony.
Okay, you're calling a 24-year person in the military a phony.
And he's calling Trump and Vance weird.
Okay, good. So you're talking to Trump.
Straight up weird.
Let me ask you something. Did Donald Trump serve in the military?
No. See, you're not answering my questions. You're not answering my questions.
Go ahead.
You don't
ask your last question so I can move to Trump. Go ahead. Ask it.
Okay. So I don't want to hear about 24 years of service. Here, I want an honest answer.
I'm going to give you the answer I want to give you. You got to suck it up and take it.
Is it ethical to jump ship on your colleagues and retire, and then run for Congress stating that you had this rank when you know that you did not retire with that rank? You retired much lower.
Are you describing Governor Walz?
Yes.
Yes, I believe it's ethical. Can we move on now?
Okay, that's disgusting for you to even say that.
You're calling 24 years of service disgusting as someone who never wore the flag of our country. That's disgusting.
That's not what I said.
You don't have the authority, Dominic.
That's not what I said.
You're a fancy radio guy, a good reporter. You don't have the authority to talk down to people that served in the military.
Right. But you're being a phony.
Don't dishonor the military
because you're covering for Walz instead of just telling the truth. See, the left versus the right. That doesn't mean that you sit here.
You have no authority here, Dominic.
It does not mean, see the title of the program, it does not mean that you sit here and just ignore reality.
Dominic,
we have to deal in reality.
You called him a slime or said it's despicable.
Right.
You're criticizing someone who gave service to our country. Now, let's move on.
Okay, let's move on.
Did Donald Trump dodge the draft?
No.
Okay. Did Donald Trump 5 times not get drafted because he had bone spurs?
Okay, did he or did he not?
He dodged the draft, Dominic.
Okay,
he was drafted.
Did he have medical medical?
No, he didn't. He dodged the draft. He dodged the draft because he's a coward.
Okay. So he's a coward.
Yes.
But Walz,
who served 24 years.
But when it came time to go to war, what did Walz do?
Yes.
When it came time to go to war,
he supported Operation Enduring Freedom.
How did he support it?
He supported wherever he was sent.
So he went to Iraq?
No. First of all, that's Afghanistan. Catch up. No, but he did go to Italy. That's where National Guards people were doing the training.
Come on, man. Yeah, okay. It's useless.
You know what I'm not doing?
Go ahead.
I am not talking about J.D. Vance.
And?
I'm not talking about his service.
Right. Okay. And what's your point?
I'm just saying that I'm not. I am not questioning his service either.
Because you can't. You can't.
So you're inviting me to?
Yes.
What did J.D. Vance do in the military?
He was a reporter, I believe.
No, he was a public affairs officer.
Right. That's what I mean.
During what? During the Iraq War, when he lied?
Okay. But
when he lied to the American people, what was going on there?
But was he on location in the war?
Yes. What was his job?
Okay. Was Walz in the war areas? Was Walz there? Was he there? I see. I answered you straight up.
No, he wasn't.
Notice you're not answering me straight up. Okay, so why not just say he wasn't?
We're doing
because he's a phony, and you know he's a phony.
We're doing J.D. Vance. You hadn't noticed we moved to J.D. Vance.
Okay.
You got to keep going. You need some real coffee or something.
Okay.
You need to focus on it.
No.
We've moved on to J.D. Vance.
I need to focus.
We've moved on to J.D.
No, you need to focus. And you need to stop.
You invited me.
It's called the left versus the right.
You invited me to talk about Vance. Are we going to do that now, or are you going to just keep interrupting me?
Sure. Go ahead.
Okay. So he was a public affairs officer after going to Yale and being funded by a hedge fund and writing a book and changing his name 3 times and saying that Donald Trump was Hitler. He was a public affairs officer. His job was to lie to the American people what was going on in Iraq.
He lied to the American people every Saturday afternoon, 4 to 5.
I'm not running for vice president. My name isn't Vance. So you're fine with that?
I'm fine with everything that's in his past.
There you go. That's what I thought.
That's what I thought.
All right, let's move on. That's all I needed to know. Everything, including Trump is Hitler.
Yes,
Good.
And
Finally.
Wait a minute.
And having sex with a sofa. You like all of it. The whole J.D. Vance thing. The whole thing that makes him the most unpopular vice presidential pick in America.
The difference between me and you is I'm honest. Every week, you're not.
No, you were just honest. Vance, you said you like Vance.
If Vance, and he did call him Hitler and Hitler-like, right?
Yep.
But you're leaving out half the story. He has said that even he was influenced by left-leaning media. This is what he said.
What was his job? What was his job in Iraq? You just got done saying he was the media.
Okay, let me finish, please.
Because he's so smart. He listened to Fox News and thought it was. I can listen to Fox News. And just like a jury said for $787 million that they lie, he couldn't figure it out. Mr. Yale educated.
Okay. So now
he's so smart.
So
your guy is so smart.
Let's see.
He thought Fox and Friends was fact.
Okay. Let's see if you can be intellectually honest here. The Democratic ticket, at the top of the ticket, Kamala Harris. Can that woman speak 5 sentences? I want you to honestly answer the question. Come on, Anthony. You know that woman shouldn't be at the top of the ticket.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about, Dominic?
Sure seems like a lot of people who are packing her crowds, giving her money, and responding to pollsters sure think so.
Are her rallies bigger than Trump rallies?
Yes.
Oh, come on, man.
Side by side, look at the Atlanta rally.
You're going to say that?
Yeah,
right. Megan Thee Stallion. You think it's right to have Megan Thee Stallion at a rally with young black girls?
We already did this.
No. I
listened to that song, by the way. That song is disgusting.
And I told you
she didn't play that song.
And I told you it was disgusting.
You fibbed about that. She didn't play that song.
I didn't say she played it at the event.
Oh, you implied it.
But wait a minute.
You implied it.
Wait.
Come on.
Wait.
Look into the camera and say you didn't imply that she played that song.
Wait. I didn't imply it. I didn't say she's played it.
But you just picked one random song?
But the fact that she did that song with Cardi B, and I like Cardi B. I really do.
That song is disgusting.
Okay, but no. And with the high rates of single
That's not me. Come on, we did this last week. I don't want to go back.
Excuse me.
You want to talk about Harris? Let's talk about Harris.
No.
I don't want to go back to that. It was a stupid issue last week.
Can I finish, please?
No.
Okay. You
Come
don't
on,
get to tell me what to do.
All right.
You don't get to tell me what to do.
Go ahead, dude. Do your hip hop rapster thing in the middle of a political show. Do it again. I mean, it sounds so stupid.
Okay, so in the middle of your first major rally in Georgia, and Georgia,
beginning of it.
Meaning that you're just starting your rally, your first rally in Georgia, and you with all the issues that are before communities.
Empty for Donald Trump and flat. Well, Donald Trump complaining about the governor, complaining about the Secretary of State, and sounding deranged. By the way, how come he hasn't been on the campaign trail? Is he tired? Is Donald tired? Is the orange man from Florida tired?
He campaigned yesterday, Friday.
He did not campaign yesterday.
Yes, he did.
Standing in Mar-a-Lago and making up crap is not campaigning. He did not. He hasn't been on there.
I want to focus on. I'm not going to let you get away with this.
Oh, because he was in Montana yesterday.
No. With the issues,
Montana.
With the issues before the black community, do you think it's appropriate for the Democratic nominee for president to trot out Megan Thee Stallion?
Yes.
Actually tweaking on stage.
Fine. Yes, tweaking.
And you think that's okay?
It's fine. Whatever.
Okay, all right.
You want to talk about hip-hop? I want to talk about
Wait a minute. You know
literally no one in our audience cares about this. I hear clicks all over. I hear streets all over. This is, you're supposed to be good at this. This is the worst radio.
No.
Go to BLS if you want to do this.
I am very good at this.
God, wrap up.
But you know I'm a fan of your mother's, right? Educator, right? I guarantee you your mother would not approve of Megan Thee Stallion performing at that rally where you have young people, impressionable people. In
Fran Weiner voting for Harris. And we'll be right back.
It's the left versus the right. Now, to the Bernard McGurk Studios, it's a 77 WABC debate. The melee in the metropolis. 77 WABC.
So welcome back to Left versus Right. Anthony Weiner on the left, Dominic Carter on the right. By the way, if you're missing Dominic Carter's shows at 3 o'clock and at midnight, around the country, you are missing a really great radio experience. Not only is
you do great at 3 o'clock.
I appreciate it.
I just don't understand why you don't bring the logic that you bring at 3 o'clock like you just did to this program. When we get to this program, your head goes on a 180-degree turn, and you become Sybil and every other character in a horror movie, and you just outright lie to cover Democrats.
You know, we get criticized a lot online for interrupting each other. I was just complimenting you, and you interrupted me. You interrupt me just just for the sake of doing it. I was in the process of complimenting you, but all right, let's move on. I just want the listener to listen carefully. I get accused a lot of interrupting Dominic.
And lying.
It is that. Okay.
And telling fibs
about
Democrats.
Right there. That was an interruption by Dominic. Well, I was in the middle of a sentence and he interrupted me. I just think that it's not I. It is I that refuses to be interrupted sometimes. And rather than pull away from the table, I push back. All right. You were about to take a run at Harris. Let's just look objectively, if we can, at the stuff. The subjective stuff we can do. But first, the objective stuff. She seems to be doing well in the polls. She's doing very well in the money. She's filling up rallies. But you think that she's a terrible candidate. Make the argument that she's a bad candidate because she's way better than Biden and seems to be doing well by all the objective measures. What do you think the American people should know about Harris that would make them think that she's doing badly?
1, empty suit. 2, empty suit. 3, empty suit. Why hasn't she done a news conference, Anthony? Can you answer that?
She's doing other things instead.
Anthony, come on, man. See, can you be honest?
That's what...
Anthony, come on.
She's doing other things instead.
Come on. Why is
She's
it
doing
Trump
rallies. She's doing fundraisers.
Can go before the media for an hour and a half and answer every question directed at him.
By the way,
can't.
I hope he does it for 7 hours, sitting in Mar-a-Lago rather than campaigning. He says he's going to wait till I have a. We were going to go to this next.
Notice we start talking about Kamala Harris. You immediately pivot right back to Trump.
Yes, hold a press conference.
Now, do you?
That's the press you got? Yes, hold a press conference.
Do you really think this woman is qualified to be the president of
the
United
vice president,
States?
The former senator, the most popular?
No. I didn't say the vice president.
You just interrupted me again, Dominic.
I said Kamala Harris.
You just interrupted me again.
Okay, but I want you, because Anthony, you're sitting up here.
You have your reasons for interrupting me, I'm sure, but you interrupted me. So let me finish.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, I believe someone who's the vice president of the United States, someone who was the senator of the most populous state in the nation, an attorney general, and a district attorney. That sounds to me like someone who's got the qualifications to hold the highest office in the land.
Was she more qualified than Hillary Clinton?
No. Hillary Clinton was the most qualified candidate in American history.
Right. She can't even walk in Hillary Clinton's footsteps. Can you imagine?
She literally is walking in Hillary Clinton's footsteps.
Can you imagine how Hillary Clinton feels? With all due respect to the vice president of the United States, she's got to be looking at this woman saying she's a complete
quite
airhead,
the opposite.
But because she's a woman of color, she gets passes that I don't get. But frankly, because she's black. Oh, is she black today? Is she Indian American today? Which one is she going to take advantage of?
Did you hear, Dominic, that Donald Trump was asked, when did, like I asked you last week, when did Kamala Harris become black? Did you hear what Donald Trump's answer was?
I saw the entire news conference.
She says, that answer. You have to ask her. She said it. This man is toast.
No, he's not. That's
toast. What he said. That's toast. What he said.
Okay.
How do you explain that?
How do I explain what?
What did he meant?
Meaning you got to ask her. She's the one that's the phony.
No. She was asked. I'll just repeat it. You watched it. I watched it. I know there was a lot there. He was asked by Swan of the New York Times. When you said that she discovered that she was black, or she became black, and he said, when, Mr. President, Mr. Former President, when did she become black? He said, you'd have to ask her. She said it, not me. No, you said it just last week.
No,
we argued about it.
No, yes. She did it.
She didn't say she did it. She said she said it.
Okay.
He was asked what he meant when he said it. Dominic, let me please finish this thought. So we're having this.
Okay, you want to finish all these thoughts, and I get to say nothing.
Yes.
But go ahead.
No, you get to finish thoughts too. I just want to make sure we're on the same.
Okay.
He was asked. A lot of our listeners.
I heard you the first time.
A lot of our listeners don't understand. He wasn't asked why did she change.
Right.
He asked when you, Donald Trump, said that, when did you say it happened? You know when you heard that question last is when I asked it last week again to Dominic, and he couldn't answer it then either.
Okay,
but go ahead. Then Donald Trump said, ask her. She said it. What?
And he's right.
When did she say it?
Okay, let me speak, please. She plays up the Indian American aspect. She plays up the black aspect. And I guess she's entitled to do both because she is biracial.
Both, right.
But don't be a phony about it. Don't whatever you wave your hand into the wind, meaning the vice president. And I'm still not going to let you get off the main point.
No. Stick with this one.
No.
Slippery Dominic.
Wait.
Slippery Dominic. Don't leave this one.
So it's okay for her to not go before the news media and do a Joe Biden in the basement in Delaware, but a modern-day version of that. That's okay.
What's that sound, Dominic, running from the race?
No, I'm not running from it.
Hang in there with it. Finish your thought.
No. I raised my issue first. I want you to explain, Anthony. Right?
I love it.
I want you to explain.
What did Donald Trump mean when he said? What did Donald Trump mean when he said she said it? Ask her. And
I just told you.
And Dominic Carter's answer was, "Let's talk about something else."
No, I just told you that she pointed out that she's Indian American when it's convenient. She points out that she's Black American when it's convenient. That's on her. That's why Trump said you have to ask her. But now, are you okay, Anthony Weiner, with a candidate a heartbeat away from the presidency? We don't know her position on anything.
What are you talking about? What? Go ahead. Pick an issue.
No. The broader issue of she's running from the media. Are you willing to concede that?
Yeah. She's doing other things that she wants.
No. Can we elaborate on the running from the media and stop with the nonsense of she's doing other
Go
things?
ahead. Elaborate.
No, you got the floor. You got the floor.
I said, yeah. She's doing other things. She's prioritizing other things, just like your guy is not going on campaign stumps because he's prioritizing having rambling press conferences that are incoherent.
Can you focus on Kamala Harris?
I just did. What do you want to do? I said, yeah. I would love her to do.
I want you to give an honest assessment.
Here it is, Dominic.
Go ahead.
My honest assessment.
Go ahead.
I would skip the press conference and just have an interview with you for 3 hours.
She wouldn't survive for 15 minutes.
I would love it.
She wouldn't survive for 15 minutes.
You're asking me what I want.
With me.
What I want. I want that
too, but I would not want her to sit down and interview with me. Because if she sat down and interview with me, I promise you she wouldn't last 15 minutes.
Do you know, there's a lot. You want to do a press conference? Fine, do a press conference. Do a sit-down interview with the New York Times. Do a sit-down interview with Sid. I don't care what you. Campaigns make decisions. Last week, your guy, Donald Trump, made a decision to sit down with a streamer who had to Google what fascism meant because he didn't even know. Do you even know who that streamer was? That guy, Aiden Ross, whatever it is?
Yes.
You do?
Meaning that...
That guy had said some horrible things.
Okay, meaning that...
About black people, by the way.
Okay. First of all, I'm not the spokesman for Black America. I'm not the spokesman for...
I know, but you should be upset by it. I'm upset by it. How come you're not upset by it?
I'm upset at any discrimination. But I want you But I want you to focus on what I said. You're comfortable with this lady becoming president, and America doesn't know anything about her.
She's been the vice president, the senator of the legislature.
Okay,
why do you keep saying that?
She's running from the media. There's no news conference. There's no anything.
You want a news conference.
And you're okay with that.
Look, ideally, if I have to choose between doing jam-packed rallies, fundraising, and this other stuff, and a news I don't. Can I be honest with you?
Right.
I am underwhelmed by your attacks. So far, the vice president served only 24 years in the military.
No, that's not.
I don't want anyone getting tampons. She won't hold a press conference. That's the best you got.
Okay, so Anthony,
bring your A game. Bring your A game.
So Anthony. So yesterday you picked up your son. I think he came back from camp.
Yes, great to have him home.
You think it's great. I say the same thing. Ditto to the young man. He's a leader of tomorrow, of the future. You think
if only he can learn to clean up his room. But yes,
he'll clean up his room. He'll get to it. You think it's okay for him to have to go to the boys' bathroom and there are tampons in there? What message do you think that sends to him and all the other boys?
It's a message of removing stigma around things. It's a message of doing nice things for someone else, even if it doesn't affect them. Just because he doesn't use a tampon doesn't. I teach him every day that someone else getting a right or a benefit or having their life improved doesn't diminish him one bit. And why do we have to always be talking about the others in the Republican Party? Why come it's never about us?
This is why confuse boys like that.
Confused? Are you kidding? If he comes home and says, "Dad, what's a tampon?" I'm going to sit down and I'm going to tell him because I'm a parent. If he goes to a teacher and they say some kids can't afford to have those or are not, who have single parent households at homes or aren't being whatever, if it helps someone.
I've never heard a woman's family in a position where they can't afford tampons.
Can I tell you something? Can I tell you something? We have an enormous amount of need in our country. One of the things that Walls did in Minnesota is guaranteed free lunches for any child that wants them.
Walls is a nut. Come on, man.
Okay. All right, you say that. I'm talking about substance. You're talking about calling people names.
You're talking about pandering. And you're talking about pandering when it comes to Walls.
Feeding hungry kids is not pandering. It's government.
The man is not honorable.
Okay. I will invite all of the listeners in our audience who served in the military to respond to that. I'm not going to. But let me ask you this other thing, and this is kind of a bigger framing. The framing of joy versus despair. In Donald Trump's State of the Union address, he says the American dream is dead. He has repeatedly says that this country is going to hell. Okay. On the other side are people that say, no, we're a great country. We're getting better every day. You've heard me say that. I'm glad they're adopting it. Don't you think that affirmative, forward-looking, positive messages are more powerful than despair?
Absolutely. At some point, you have to deal with reality.
I feel you.
You have Kamala Harris spreading joy. The female Obama.
She hasn't called herself that.
She's spreading joy.
She hasn't mentioned her race once,
She's
by the way.
spreading joy, and
yes.
Obama was biracial as well. But
she hasn't mentioned her race once.
Okay. No. I'm talking about spreading joy.
Oh.
It's wonderful to spread joy, but there has to be some substance there.
Is the American dream dead, Dominic?
Excuse me. Let me finish, and then you can go on with your pandering. The Democrats, right? The country has a great 4 years under Trump. The Democrats take over. Everything falls apart. People are going under. Look at the interest rates to buy a home. Look at the fact that they're rushing to lower them now, right? Because it's an election year. Look at the fact of what happened on Wall Street just the other day, and that's
all back.
Excuse me, and
it's all back, my man. You got to catch up.
Let me finish. And that's all under Democrats, right? So
not exactly.
Okay, when you say joy, I say joy is coming back to America under Trump for all Americans.
Okay. Well, here's what I would say to all of those things, and what you're going to hear now is me responding to you. There was only one president in American history that's net lost jobs, and that was Donald Trump.
Nonsense.
If you don't like the interest rate policy
didn't he have COVID under Trump? Wasn't there COVID under Trump?
Yes, there was.
Okay, so point that out, please. Be honest and factual.
Okay.
Now go ahead.
If you don't like the interest rates, you don't like the positions of Powell. Who appointed Powell?
No. You know if it happens on your watch, if it happens on your watch, you own it.
Okay, so he does own the 4 years of his administration.
So who's the current president? Who's the current president of the United States?
So we agree.
Oh,
so we agree.
I noticed
he owns the 4 years.
I noticed you were kissing President Biden's rear side week after week. Now that he's gone, you don't even mention the man. And you know why you don't mention him? You know why you don't mention him?
Because you interrupted me.
Because you guys stole the nomination from him. Literally. Because you guys said, hey, black woman, you're up. You can win. Come on, black woman. You can do this. And you literally stole the nomination from Biden.
You said I didn't mention it because I said I'm about to answer you, and then you interrupted me. Shall I continue now?
No, go ahead.
Thank you.
Wait. In this program, have you mentioned Biden's name once?
I was just about to.
In this program, just about to. In this program, have you mentioned Biden's name once?
You criticized his record, and I said...
Have you mentioned Biden's name once? I just want to answer to that.
You're interrupting me as you're interrupting me.
You don't want to answer.
I'm going to return to the answer.
Okay,
now, you criticized the record of the current president, Joe Biden. That was the third thing that I was going to get to. First of all, and just to reset the table, largest job losses, because you agree that all 4 years count in the president, largest job losses in American history. I said that Powell actually was appointed by Donald Trump because you criticized the Fed. And then the third thing you did was talk about the economy. Well, stock market is higher than it's ever been, higher than it ever was under Donald Trump. Inflation is now at 1.9%, which is the Fed target. We had more job creation than any president in American history under Joe Biden. So there it is. That's how you respond to someone when they're not being interrupted. Now, please continue.
Okay, so was Biden a good nominee?
Biden was a good president. Terrible nominee.
Oh,
terrible candidate.
Now we're being honest.
Dominic, I could play you a montage of me 500 times saying he's a lousy candidate.
Now that he's out of favor, now you're being honest.
You want to run against Biden?
Wait. So why was he just for the record, why was he a terrible candidate?
He was terrible because he was old and couldn't talk. He's a great president, though. And we'll be right back on Left versus Right.
America. We are endowed by our Creator with certain unalienable rights, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. By honoring your sacred vocation of education, you impact your family, your friends, and your community. At Grand Canyon University, our online bachelor's, master's, and doctoral education degree programs allow you to balance online coursework with observational and hands-on experience in the field. Find your purpose at GCU. Private, Christian, affordable. Visit gcu.edu.
It's the left versus the right. It's a 77 WABC debate. The melee in the metropolis. 77 WABC.
So welcome back to Left versus Right. If you miss any part of the show, you can get it as a podcast on the Red Apple Podcast Network or anywhere you get podcasts. And if you're going to do that, you really should do a couple of other things. Download and subscribe to the podcast of the 3 o'clock show that Dominic does, which is now, congratulations, all over the country.
Thank you.
So listeners all over the country can bleed from their ears a couple of times a day. Also, the Midnight Show, which is in a different feed. I really think they should figure out a way to keep, you can just press one button and get all of the Dominic material. And also, this show you can get as a feed. So download.
And your show.
And also my show if you want something to meditate to, just to calm you down a little bit. So we talked briefly about the Trump press conference. How do you think that went?
I thought it was wonderful. It was so refreshing to see a presidential candidate that's willing to answer questions, that's not dodging every reporter in sight, that's locked on a teleprompter for every answer. And by the way, Anthony,
yes,
explain that to me. Why is she locked, for the most part, to a teleprompter?
Politicians use teleprompters. So does Donald Trump. I actually have
Trump at his news conference the other day did not have a teleprompter.
Oh, no, I thought you meant she's only giving rally speeches, and Donald Trump will use the teleprompter. As a matter of fact, he complained.
Sometimes, and sometimes he doesn't.
Always uses them.
No.
He goes off them and says crazy stuff, and I'm sure his campaign.
In your opinion?
Well, you said he answered every question.
Here we go. Let's focus on Trump.
No, we're talking about the press conference.
Let's not say anything about Kamala Harris.
We were talking about the press conference.
Okay, but when are we going to honestly assess her?
We did that the last segment. Do you want to continue?
No.
Go ahead.
Here's what you said.
Go ahead.
Here's what you said.
We were about to talk about the press conference, but we're now going to talk about this. I just want everyone to acknowledge. I didn't interrupt that chain. Dominic did.
Here's what you did. After I pushed you, you said, yes, she should have a news conference.
Yes, she should have a news conference.
And that was it.
Yep. What more would you like me to say? She's doing other things. She's doing other things very well, and the American people are responding.
What are her positions, Anthony?
You want a contrast?
No, I don't want a contrast. Okay. I just want to know what her positions are.
Codifying Roe v. Wade. Okay. You know what that is?
No,
Codifying Roe v. Wade was struck down by the Supreme Court.
No, that's
do you want to hear it or not?
Point.
Do you want to hear her?
You want to notice that was the first thing out your mouth.
I'm doing her position.
That's the first. Okay, we got that. Can you go to the other ones?
I just want to flesh this one out.
Okay, but no, there's no need. America knows that's one of her issues.
No.
What are the other ones?
No, I want to finish this one. Okay, you asked about her issues.
So you want to filibuster? That's
no, I'm not going to do bullets. I'm going to answer. I'm going to tell her what her position is.
Go ahead. You want to go on forever on abortion? I'm not going to bail you out and change the subject. I want you to answer what her positions are.
Will do. So she wants to codify Roe v. Wade, and let me explain to our listeners, because we're an educational show, that we had a constitutional right in this country. The first one that's ever taken away, a constitutional right, was a woman's right to make her own health care decisions. Roe v. Wade was the law of the land for 50-some-odd years, and then Donald Trump says, I'm going to take a list that were provided to me from the Federalist Foundation. I'm going to appoint Supreme Court justices that are going to lie before Congress and say they're going to leave Roe v. Wade, then they're going to overturn it. And then he says, well, I'm going to send it to the states. And then at his press conference yesterday, he was asked, well, what's your position on the Florida constitutional amendment? You know what he said? That's exactly right, Dominic. You say he held a press conference? He didn't answer any questions yesterday.
So
shall I continue?
So now you spoke on abortion.
To continue?
And no. You spoke on abortion. What are her other issues?
I'm going to keep going. Getting rid of tax cuts for billionaires and trillionaires, and giving tax cuts to middle-class Americans.
And she stated that.
Yes, she has. She says she's going to get rid of the Trump.
What's her position on fighting crime?
Her position on fighting crime
yes.
is to continue the policies of the Biden administration that have driven down crime to historic levels. You know, they're lower than they were under Trump. You're aware of that, right?
You're joking. But what are the rest of her issues?
Or is that one of the numbers you don't believe? You believe the stock market numbers suddenly. I'm glad you finally woke up and decided the stock market numbers are right.
What are the rest of her issues? Where does she stand on the border?
The way she stands on the border is she would pass the deal that Donald Trump killed this year.
Right. So
you want to hear what that deal has? Actually, the American people might not know. More border officers, more screening for fentanyl, more judges to have hearing officers for asylees, cutting the amount of asylum. By the way, you know asylum doesn't mean coming from an asylum. You know that, right?
First of all. Let's
keep going. I like this.
First of all, you're pointing out what Biden tried to do at the 11th hour.
No.
The
Republicans were in that table. The Republicans made that deal. Langford was the most conservative Republican in the Congress.
Okay, but was that done at the beginning of Biden's presidency? No, it wasn't. No.
Right, of course. What's the difference, mate?
The difference it makes is on the southern border, the Biden administration did nothing.
Okay, well, what was it a good deal?
Because
that's our policy. You asked our policies.
No, I'm asking.
And who killed it? Who killed it?
And I'm glad. That's Biden's policies. That's not her.
Who killed the deal?
Remember, she's not the czar.
Who killed
on
the immigration deal? You asked her policy going forward.
You want to focus on nonsense. I'm asking you.
You said you asked me, and I answered the question.
No.
What is Donald Trump's position?
No, you filibustered and you went to your regular Democratic.
You asked me for positions.
You spent a minute on abortion, which is the only thing that Democrats want to talk about. Then you focused on...
Then I did tax. And whatever questions you've asked, I've answered. Go ahead, ask me another one.
No. You know that the lady has no policy.
Okay, let's go to the Trump press conference. I was supposed to do this segment. Do you want to do that? The Trump press conference. Can you point to right now one question he actually answered?
Every single one of them.
Name one. Just name one. Just throw it out.
Every single one of them.
I watched the whole thing for an hour and 10 minutes. Name one.
And so did I.
When he was asked how he would vote on the abortion ban in Florida, what did he say?
Here we go. Do you know anything besides the abortion issue?
Did he answer it?
Do you know anything
You said every single one but that then, right?
Okay, he answered every single question that was put before him at the news conference.
Okay.
How many did Kamala Harris answer at her news conference?
I want to answer. That's one he didn't answer.
Can you answer how many questions she answered at her news conference?
Was it unconstitutional?
How many questions did she answer at her news conference?
Are you having Donald Trump kind of dementia? We already established she hasn't had one.
Oh, she hasn't had one.
Yeah. Are you doing a Donald Trump right now?
So the lady wants to be president of the United States and has not held a news conference.
So we were talking about the Trump press conference, but now we're going back to this.
You don't want to answer. You don't want to answer.
I'll go ahead and ask it again.
The lady is a heartbeat away from becoming president.
Ask it again.
Okay, is she running a rope-a-dope campaign, run out the clock? Is that what she's doing?
Rope-a-dope? Absolutely, she's trying to rope-a-dope. That's what your guy is.
Okay.
Finally, someone figured it out. Yes, she's trying to rope-a-dope and put the convict in prison where he belongs.
And is she trying to run out the clock?
When you say run out the clock?
You know exactly what I mean. Is she trying to run out the clock?
She wants to win the election in 90 days.
And how do you define that?
Getting more
votes? Does that mean avoiding the American people?
Which is what she's doing. That way, that she's avoiding the American people. She's getting throngs of people with your guy, and you're going to point, she had a rapper there. No, she had lots of without rappers.
She did have Megan Thee Stallion.
Can I ask about the Trump press conference?
Okay, what is it that I've already answered your question. What else
I'm going to do more questions you didn't answer.
Okay, but
you just asked me. Let me tell you another thing I want to know.
But when you ask me a question about the Trump press conference, my response on everything is going to be, did the vice president answer those questions?
Oh, you don't want to answer about the Trump press conference. That's fine.
No.
You want to go back to the Trump, the Harris didn't have a press conference. Then I'll just skip over it.
Okay.
That's not much of a conversation.
Okay. But why won't you criticize her for not having a news conference?
She's a terrible person for not having a news conference. Can we move on?
See, look. You can't even be serious.
I did it 4 times in the show.
But yet, you want to spend 30 minutes on nonsense going over Trump's
Impossible. I'll do 2. I'll do 1. I'll do 0. You want to do 0? I can skip over.
Do one more, and then that'll be it.
The president seems very concerned. Was he asked about his crowd size yesterday, and why did he keep going on about it? Okay. Did he have more people at his inaugural than Obama?
No.
Did he have more people at his inaugural than Martin Luther King Jr.?
Wait. Now, notice how honest I am.
Yeah.
Notice how. No. The president says, Mr. Trump says he had more people at his inauguration than Obama did. I just disagreed with him. You will no. You will never disagree with the Democratic position on anything. You are a talking head for the left, and you won't tell the truth.
Let me do a couple more about
anything.
the press conference.
Okay, so wait. You just asked me a question about Trump's inauguration.
Well, we're doing the Trump press conference.
I told you my honest opinion.
Okay.
Now, you be honest and assess. No, I want you to assess the Democratic ticket.
We're
honestly.
Doing the Trump press conference.
What are their shortfalls? The Democratic ticket.
If they're shortcoming, you mean?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes, they're shortcoming.
Clarify the question for me a little bit.
No. What are they?
Right now, they're doing everything right. I love Tim Walz. I was not pulling for him.
By avoiding the press, that's doing everything right.
What do I have to say that you don't go back to that subject over and over again? Is that all you have, Dominic?
No, it's
Could
not.
that really be all you have?
It's not all that I have, but
I've answered it 5, 6, 7 times. I'll do it one more time.
It's despicable.
It is. How about this? It's despicable. Kamala Harris won't address the press at a press conference. Can we move on now?
Okay, sure. And let's leave Trump alone and his news conference.
Why? I thought you thought it went well.
No.
I thought it went well. We don't have to talk about it. Fine.
No.
We'll skip it.
You know why?
I'm fine skipping it. I don't care.
So what else you got?
Okay. Trump thinks Biden is coming back. Do you?
Absolutely not. Trump knows.
It's kind of crazy, right?
No, it's not crazy. First of all, Biden was your guy. Now you've dumped him like a hot plate.
Too bad. I feel bad for you.
Bad.
Hey, can I ask you a question? Oh, here's something that came up at the press conference.
You see how phony Democrats are?
In what way?
Wow.
We want to win.
At all costs.
Politics is about winning.
At all costs.
Politics is about winning.
With all due respect to the vice president, you're willing to put
You're
somebody...
a Biden guy. You're defending Biden. That way.
With all due respect to the vice president, you're willing to put someone in the office of presidency that you know is not intellectually capable of doing the job.
Do you think black people are not as smart as white people?
That's a ridiculous statement.
It's obviously wrong, right? Do you think Donald Trump believes that? On your heart of hearts.
Well, okay, in my heart of hearts, does Trump believe what now?
That black people are not as smart as white people.
No, I don't.
You don't think he believes that in his heart of hearts?
No. Okay. No, I don't. I don't. Okay. Why would you say something stupid
Because
like
he's
that?
a racist and acts that way all the time.
Okay. So wait a minute.
He did it again at the press conference yesterday.
What did he do that was racist?
When he was asked,
I didn't know that you became Martin Luther King. But what did he do that was racist?
Well, you didn't watch last week's episode.
No,
last week's episode, I was the guy standing up against racism, and you were the guy defending this guy.
No, you were the guy.
I mean, it was a weird juxtaposition, I got to admit.
No, Anthony, you were the guy prancing around doing all types of crazy stuff.
Calling Donald Trump what the whole world was calling him a racist for saying Kamala Harris discovered she was black.
Okay.
And you were defending him. That was not your finest moment.
Okay,
all right.
No, it was my absolute finest moment. You know why?
Okay.
Because I was telling the truth, unlike you do every week.
You were telling your opinion. You were supporting Trump.
So why would you ask me about does Trump think that black people are inferior?
Because Trump
yesterday,
because Trump
over and over again. Another way to go after Trump. You don't want to do nothing to talk about Kamala Harris. Nothing.
Right.
Nothing. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I keep doing the list of her policies if you want.
I just want.
I'll do Kamala Harris. You're right. Let me do more of her policies.
No. I just want.
Let me do more of her policies.
I just want the record to reflect that you don't want to talk about anything with Kamala Harris because you're trying to.
Let's just get camera one here.
You're trying to cruise.
Item 4. Trump holds press conference. How did it go? That's item 4. Now, we're not sticking with that because Dominic doesn't want to. Okay. So I've moved on to something else. I've moved on to this throwaway one. Trump thinks Biden isn't coming back because he keeps tweeting that.
Okay, right. Now,
so let's just say, it's out there. I will post it on my webpage.
Among your bullet points, we're the Kamala Harris section.
Number 2.
And what does it say?
Harris momentum, but no press conferences. Trump stays home.
Harris momentum, right? Now, you don't see how that's framed in a positive way to make her look good?
I wrote this after I listened to your show yesterday.
Okay.
You yourself said she's got momentum, but it's going to ebb.
Right.
You yourself said it, man.
But you don't point it out there. You say
that's
Harris
your
momentum.
Job.
Oh, so you don't have a job to tell the truth.
Hold on a second. It's an opinion
and
whether her
moment. I still want to go back to this nonsense you said.
You fade at the end of shows. You fade at the end of the shows, man. Yesterday you were like, "Do we have to? Can I leave? Can I leave? Can I leave?" You're doing it again.
That was last week.
That's what I'm saying. Last week. And what are you doing now? With all due
respect, it was because you had embarrassed yourself so much.
Whatever.
I felt bad for you.
Stop. Just stick to one of these issues so we can debate it here.
So let's stick to the nonsense. Why would you say some garbage like Trump thinks that black people are inferior?
Here's why. I'm going to answer. Because in the course of his rambling press conference on Thursday, he did this thing that says that she's dumb. She keeps saying she's dumb. She's dumb. She's dumb. And she said that she was chosen.
And I use the word empty suit. What's the difference?
And because he also said in the course of this press conference.
Notice you're not answering what's the difference?
I'm doing it.
I said empty suit. He said dumb. What's the difference?
Because he did in the context of her race.
How did he do it in the context of her race?
In that same rambling answer, he talked about her being chosen because she pretends to be this or pretends to be that, implying that somehow being black and being South Asian means you can't also be smart. And I just want to clear that up, that not only is she smart, and you say that...
You don't believe that. Come on, man.
All right, give me evidence that she's not.
No,
give me evidence that this black woman you're calling dumb is...
I didn't call her dumb. I said empty suit.
Okay, is she dumb?
I'm not going to answer.
Is she smart?
No.
Okay, so give me some evidence.
and listen to her on any given day when she does speak.
I'm listening to you now.
I just told you. Listen to
Why
listen
do
to the
you,
word
Dominic
salad.
Carter, say she's dumb?
I didn't say she was dumb. I said empty suit.
Those are synonyms, but go ahead.
Okay, I'm trying to be a little respectful to the
No,
office,
you're not. You're being disgustingly disrespectful to military people and now to a black woman.
And what are you doing?
I'm showing honor to them.
Listen, Mr. Farrakhan, what are you doing?
I honor them.
What are you doing?
I don't
What are you doing? Yeah, I mean, you're arguing like you're Farrakhan.
What's the Farrakhan reference?
What are you doing? What are you doing?
I'm honoring people's military service.
You're trying to get a woman that's not qualified for the office elected, and you're willing to do anything and say anything to carry out your means.
Yeah, and I